Hello and welcome to another Smite tier list. Today we're doing Hunter passives rather than EDC passives. Change up the tiers a little bit to reflect the fact that there's not really any passives that are like, detrimental to your character, but there are some that are definitely weaker than others. We're going to start with Charybdis, because unfortunately Charybdis is not in this tier list, so I put myself visual aid. And I'm just going to put her in relatively weak. She gets, what, 25 plus... She gets plus 25 attack speed, which is obviously good for like a bow build kind of thing. But right now we're moving away from the bow build and the ADC meta. We're moving towards crit and stuff like that. So attack speed, obviously, it will always be nice. There's no disputing that. But in her passive also is like her triple auto, reduction of item procs and stuff like that. So it's kind of like all balanced out is relatively weak. It's nothing too crazy. So we're just going to leave it there and we're going to move on to B-Man himself, Muzan Gab Smite. You can read I'm going to read the passives. I don't know why I didn't do that for Charybdis. It would make it a lot easier because I don't know Charybdis passives that well. Haven't played enough Charybdis. Haven't played much Muzan Gab either. Oh, come on. Thank you. So his passive is bees, so it's 0.5 for 2 seconds, revealed on the minimap, and then they spread. The fact they're shown on the minimap is a little bit quite nice, and they take like a little bit of damage. It's nothing too crazy, but it's fun. It's fun. So we're just gonna put in decent to strong. The information it gives you is nice. The fact it spreads to other players is nice. I'm assuming it counts as gods with stealth. The damage is negligible, but that's not what you're getting out of it. You're getting information and the spread. You get, obviously the damage is there, just a little bonus. So yeah, we're just gonna put in decent. It's nothing too insane, but it's not bad either. It's pretty good. I quite like it. And her passive. This is to do with Prostrate, if I'm not mistaken. I spelled passive wrong. Smile. And her passive. Yep. It is portrait, so it's just 20 portrait. It's just decent to strong. Just do decent. It's not bad at all. Portrait always going to be nice into tanks, but it's also good for dueling. That's why you'll see it on her 1v1s being quite popular, because Anhara is just very good at that 1v1 style, so really helps the rest of his kit. It just means he just does more with his kit. I quite like that passive. It might go into strong, but let's have a look. After 10 basic attacks, apply gains audacity, so his attack speed increased. Audacity. So the attack speed buff is 100%. It's a decent one, maybe strong, because 100% increase on your passive is really good. It really does depend on which page you're going. If you're going bow build, it's strong. If you're going normal build, it's probably decent. Actually, I think I'm gonna put in strong. It's definitely not a bad passive. Don't think it's top tier either. Maybe maybe it is actually top tier. Oh no, I don't think it is. You can get it really quickly, especially late game. That's what I think we're gonna have to revisit. Same as Anhar, because I think Anhar can maybe come to strong as well. Artemis is it? She does more damage to CC'd enemies. Yeah, 50 increased damage, 30. So really, we're going to ignore the minions because minions aren't too important. Doesn't include knockbacks, blinds, or grabs. Doesn't include the grab, so Sylvanas is not a good partner. But it does include light roots. It's strong because there's a lot of CC in Smite. That's 15% extra damage for free. You gotta think late game. She's gonna be using a ball. She's gonna be using, and hopefully then trapping, and then that's probably just a free kill because of how much extra damage she's getting. Maybe even without the extra damage, she probably recovered. But then, yeah, I think, but like your team's gonna be lot of CC, so it's yeah, definitely late game, definitely a strong passive. Gods. Oh, this is it's glaive. 25% of your damage. So decent. The reason why I put it in decent is because Konos' passive requires him to play close. When you're playing a hunter, you kind of want to sit in the back. See, it's very good if someone's diving you. That could make it strong. It's like if someone's diving you, you're doing extra damage to them because they've come close to you. But if you're then using because I know that you when you're playing Konos, use your dash in. You can cancel your dash early, which is something I always forget. You can cancel your dash early, and you can just do a lot of damage just smacking their front line, and it's a decent passive for sure. It could definitely be strong. Originally, when I first read it and reminded myself, I was like weak, but then I was like, wait, no, it's not weak because people that dive you, you don't have to go to them; they come to you, kind of thing. So I think, oh, I've spelled that completely wrong. Yes, that one. It's also 25% of your damage. That's a lot of damage, you know. It's really good against people diving you, but yeah, we'll go with that. How cold? How much is it? So 15 up to 35% of your total attack power. It's not bad, you know. It's like originally I went, it's strong, but because it's just an exploding auto attack, and it does 35 or it does extra damage. It's like that could really hurt. Oh, put it in strong. We'll leave it in strong. Chiron! What I do know off the top of my head. Finally. Well, I knew Anne has. Chiron. His is a 3. What are they called? Salves, isn't it? And he heals, basically. Oh, it's a poultice. Sorry, my bad. So it's 30 plus 5 per god level over 5. So 130 health, and that gives you some power as well. I forgot it gives power. Oh, that's actually really just not a bad one. Because it gives you healing and power. Healing's very minimal, but the power is 25, 50. It's enough to be noticeable. I'm just gonna put indecent. Just indecent. Just indecent. Because it's enough to be noticeable, but it's maybe because you're getting it to the lowest health, they're not necessarily going to be using the power buff they given. They're going to be maybe someone who's already left the fight and is just trying to heal up off a backhand and they're getting extra power. if you're playing in such a way where that's available. Yeah, that is unfortunately it's not always going to be useful, but it will be useful a lot of the time. Oh no, I just almost put in Danzibar ASMR. I wonder what that would be like. Actually, I don't want to know. So this is to do with gold. Actively gains gold, 10% into his money pouches. Gains bonus gold and a permanent supply increase before switching to a large money pouch. So we get 6 per pouch, he has 4 pouches, which is 24. And gives you a lot of gold. That's just a strong passive, isn't it? If not top tier, it's giving you like 24 power and extra gold. Like, it's not a lot of gold to fill. You fill it quite easy. It says 100, 125, 150, 200. That's just a decent amount of gold. Like, no, I'm not gonna put it in too high, but like, it's definitely a contender for a higher tier because of how it is. So that's Cupid. Is Cupid to do with this heart bomb? A heart stack that increases the damage. Wait, stack. 16 increased healing and increased damage. It consumes them, so it's not bad, but I'd say it's compared to like the other ones, this is relatively weak. It's requiring you to hit 8 autos at a minimum, which adds a belly. Other gamers. Sorry about this. But late game, it won't be. He is, but it's like that's then eaten by Alton's heart bomb, so it's kind of I just don't think it's like a super impactful ult. No, it is an impactful ult. Impactful passive. It is an impactful passive because it gives you extra stuff, but it's not insane. They're stronger as he lands blows, hitting enemies with basic attacks and these giving MP5. I guess 40 MP5 at level 20. Again, that one just feels quite weak. Like MP5 is very MP5 sorry. Hungry? Is he quite a mana hungry? What is this? Let's have a look. Cost 80, 50, like 90. That's actually quite expensive. And then that's 120. So yeah, his abilities are quite expensive, but even still, I don't think it's all that. I don't think it's all that at all. It's just, it probably feels quite nice for Hachiman, giving him a bit of mana, but compared to like, Proc Shred or your team, we're giving them damage and doing more damage and information, it's a bit weaker. But I would say it's stronger than Cupid's. Now it's time for probably my favourite passive, so I'm just gonna put him up here. But I'm gonna get it up for everyone. Heimdall, his passive is being able to see people on the minimap and doing more damage while there's people on the minimap. While he's able to see people, I should say. So it's very much a passive for information, and I love his passive. I'm very, very biased with this. So So also, to be fair, this does include his only 65% extra bonus damage, but then he still does as much as basically any other god because he has lots of damage. But it's only 10% power. You can be like, oh, that's quite weak because it's only 10% power. Cupid's giving him 16, but and you'll never really in team fights you'll get the 10% power basically all the time. But in landing phase, you're not going to get that often. You're going to get like 6 to 8 maybe. But the thing is with Heimdall is just the extra vision you get from seeing people on the map, so you can tell where they're going. Whereas most people when they place wards, they're placing them at like choke points. So you kind of like, okay, they could be coming to me, or they could be going to gold. They could be doing oracles. They could be going to their red buff. And that extra 4 seconds allows you to decide, okay, he's going to oracles. I don't need to worry about him at this exact point. I can clear this wave, or I can play back because I now know that the jungle is coming. Even if it's a low-key and he's stealthed a mile away, I now know that he's coming. I can just, go back to my tower line or play back a little bit further towards my Bifrost. And yeah, so it just allows you to play a bit differently. And I think that passive is top tier. It's very biased from me because it probably isn't. But, what was that? Hu Yi fan? Oh, it's a chess grandmaster. I thought it was someone who was a fan of Hu Yi. No, but it's actually a Hu Yi. It's actually a chess player. Okay. You learn something new every day, guys. Okay, Hu Yi. Taking a critical hit. You know what? Interesting. Interesting note. That's actually not a bad passive. That really, actually, especially with current meta, is quite strong because we're playing in the current meta, mostly, unless you're Ulla and Skadi. The gods that never get crit anyway. But, it's strong and it really allows him to box well. Allows him to box into other gods extremely well. I think his passive is really strong, yeah, actually. I didn't know that was his passive. That's actually really nice passive. It's not like Geb's where it's like 75% crit and 75% damage. It's just you can't be crit once for 3 seconds. That's not bad, especially when you're relying on your crits. Like you've only been like rage and what assy. You don't got like a lot of power. You're just like, oh no, I have no. You don't even. I don't know if you built that anyway. That's probably an old build at this point. But yeah. Let's see. Powerful she comes, so 4% penetration for each 10% of our health, so 8% missing. Oh, protection, so it's 5 seconds, sorry. Oh, okay, my bad. So okay, so maximum 5 sets, so it's 20%. It's like, wait, so it's 50% of our health that's missing. Yes, got that now. And it's also her. See, this is actually a top tier passive because it not only includes that 20% sorry, 20% pen. It also includes her like the strongest thing about Izanami, which is her double auto attacks, her wave clear, basically her early pressure. It comes from her passive, which you don't realize necessarily. Well, you do realize because it's her double auto attack. Basically, it's that. Means she can claim any of the jungle buffs, and she can claim all this, and she can't clear, and so she just gets early pressure because of it. And it's really easy to then carry that early pressure into late game. So it's a good passive. It's one that definitely allows Izanami to excel. It's not like anything super insane, but it allows her to be good. Jing Wei. So who's your favorite Jing Wei? What even is a passive? Rapid. Oh, it's the thing she can fly back. So it's a 4-second flight. It's definitely a strong passive. It allows her to get back to lane in really quick. Could be top tier. I don't think it is though. There's something about it that just doesn't It doesn't give her any power or anything like that, which is something that both the top tier ones do, as well as the main thing I'm talking about. They give her them extra, whereas this is just allowing her to come back fast, which, to be fair, is good. That's why it's in strong. Medusa. I know Medusas because Leon told me it's to do with side strafing and back strafing. It's like she takes less movement penalty or something. That's not bad, you know. That's probably just a decent. It's not like a. It's an interesting one. It's not like a. It's not like a like a who you passive where it's super like important to his kit, but it's also like it just means she can AD strafe really well, and she can then back strafe really well. Something, yeah, definitely decent passive. Could arguably go into strong, but I would say it goes into decent because it doesn't give her any power. It doesn't give her any. It doesn't mean she comes back to lane faster like Jing Lane. It's just like it's something that's definitely annoying to play against, but it's something like insane to play against at the same time. It's something you get used to, I think, when you play against Medusa. It's like you realize she moves faster, and then your brain just clocks that quite easily. Anyway, a broken weave. Oh, I hate broken weaves. They are broken now. This is a decent passive because it relies on gods dying, and if you have a very slow game, then it's like, well, there's no gods dying, so I've got none of those weaves. I have to use my backflip all the time. So it's not a bad passive. It's just a decent passive. I would like to stress that none of these are actually bad passives. Even the ones in the lower tiers aren't really bad. They're just worse. The worst of the best, because passives are always like the best. Rams is his Astral Arrows. Yeah, Astral Cover. So he gets a new arrow every 12 seconds, which is a long time. By 2 seconds, which is just fine, it makes sense. Chance to drop on the ground, restores 10 mana, so it's respawns with the full quiver. That's something good to know. Drop counts 30 plus 1, so 50% in the late game for 2 seconds. So I'm gonna go with decent because the passive itself is just decent. Yeah, actually, it's probably pretty weak. The passive itself is relatively weak. It only gives him 10 mana and his arrows. But the thing is the arrows that allow him to use like the abilities. So it's kind of like because I did this with Mulan and King Arthur, I'm keeping it. It probably actually would go into pretty weak. I feel like gods don't rely on their passive with other abilities. They're kind of getting shafted in this because the passive plus abilities is strong, but the passive itself is weak because it relies on the abilities. But because I'm ignoring the abilities, it's really weak because it's only 10 mana per arrow, and then you've already got like a 50% chance at max level to get an arrow, and so yeah, it's a pretty weak one. So yeah, we're playing him that. But I will just preference this for the 70th time. It's not a weak one if we're including abilities. Scotty broke my computer apparently. Let's have a look. Calder. Oh, okay. I didn't realize Calder was the passive. It's also the ability. Hello, Calder. Anyway, it takes a while for him to gain HP. Rune of the Hunt. So 10% physical power. It's called Lone Wolf. Cool. Good to know. So at 5 points. 50, 110%. Okay, so, because, again, this is the same as Mr. Boy over here, it's ability based. This passive is ability based. However, the one thing that makes it better than Ram is this 10% physical power, because that is in the passive, whereas he just gets 10 mana. So it's just like, okay, hers is actually a lot better because of that. Yes, I did not explain anything that day. Because of the extra 10% power, it's just better. Although I'm saying that, but then hold on. MP5 16% power. You know, you're going with ROM, I think, because it's just like, again, it's the ability based thing. I might need to. Cooldowns in the opposite stance are reduced. I mean, decent, nothing crazy, nothing bad. You know, yeah. Just makes you use all your cooldowns. So yeah, it's a decent one, definitely. I quite like it as well. Smite and Spelunky. So deals damage. So you get 6 stacks. You get 30 physical power, 30 physical power. It's not 30% physical power, it's just 30 physical power. No, it's better than. Is it? Because that's 16%. It's percent to 30 just flat. And it does take a long time to come online, but again, so do a lot of them. It's one that I don't really notice too much, so I'm just going to go with relatively weak. But I definitely think I'm probably wrong with that, and it probably is just a decent. My list could definitely change. You can tell I'm confident, can't you? Yeah, we've got all the hunters. Just a reminder, Charybdis is also in relatively weak. So it's the two with the passives based on abilities that are pretty weak. It's, I guess, Cupid is also based on abilities, but not really. His is MP5. His is really low. Yeah, just I'll leave it as that. But if you could change one, what would you change? Tell me down below. Would it be Xbalanque up to decent? Would it be Anher up to strong? Would it be Danza down to decent? I don't know. It's up to you guys. Which one would you choose? I've been Vasily, and I will see you in the next one. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.